So hello and welcome to today's video. Now, gaming myths and mysteries. Regardless whatever games you play, there is most likely some kind of well-known myth surrounding them. Secret areas that are hidden on the outskirts of the map, or even secret endings. Some eventually turn out to be real, others turn out to be fake, but there is no denying that there exists a strong community of players who dedicate their spare time to figuring out the truths behind their favourite games. And one company has managed to keep loads of mysteries in nearly all of their games. Rockstar Games have had a plethora of myths and mysteries occurring in nearly every single one of their games that have plagued many playgrounds and internet forums, going as far back as Grand Theft Auto 3, where you could apparently encounter a zombie Elvis Presley. But it seems that over time Rockstar themselves have had a bit of fun with this, such as incorporating the aliens from GTA San Andreas into Bully, and incorporating Bigfoot into Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. But today I'm going over Rockstar's biggest unsolved mystery to date, the Mt Chiliad Mystery. More specifically, the original intentions of the mountain, rather than going over everything that's happened from 2013 to 2020. Because while the mystery has evolved over the course of numerous GTA Online updates, I strongly believe this was planned for single player before being moved to online only. Now, disclaimer, all of this is my own research and analysis unless I specifically mention or use somebody else's findings where they will be credited appropriately. Now, this will be either extremely underwhelming or quite interesting depending on how you see this, but let's begin with the Mt Chiliad building and the mural. Now, this is definitely where it all began. A very ominous mural appears on the wall of this building, and many believe that this is a secret room that harbours the truth to the Chiliad mystery. Now, thankfully on PC we can use a mod to get inside this room, and yeah, this is the real result of the Chiliad mystery, a cube. Now, even though this room has nothing but a cube in it, we do actually have quite a bit of evidence that says this room was going to be fully accessible at some point. First of all, the walls. If we shoot the walls opposite the door, we can actually paint the walls with our bullets, like the collision is here, but the models actually aren't. Now, if we do this on the opposite side, specifically at the wall, our bullets shoot right through the door and hit the walls near the trams instead. Now, another oddity is, if we run into the wall where the door is, we'll temporarily glitch out and get thrown out to the other side. Doing this on any other wall just makes us hit the floor as normal. Now, this might be a stretch, but if we look on the outside we can see windows here, implying that this is an entire building. Now, I'm unsure if the Chiliad room we just looked at was going to be a single room, or if our real reward would be inside, say like this room where the windows are, and the room we was in would have like some stairs or something like that. So what about the cube? Well, my personal theory, which I did post to Twitter, was that I thought this was a placeholder kind of thing. You know, like Rockstar just put a dummy file here to stop the script breaking, or alternatively to troll people like me who just no-clipped in there and would spoil the mystery for everybody. But I was informed by a few people that apparently this has nothing to do with the Chiliad mystery, but instead is related to the trams, which apparently was found by an app called Codewalker. Now, I have no idea how to use that tool, I don't understand code, so we'll just take their word for it for now. Of course I could be right, they could be right, like I said I don't know because I don't know how to use Codewalker. But now if we take a look at the mural, we see a UFO, egg, a jetpack, blah blah blah. You've seen this thousands of times by now. Now, I'm not going to sit here and analyse this through and through again. What I do want to do is bring direct attention to the egg. Now, I'm not going to say this means like the rebirth of Franklin or something like that, because even though this egg is used in GTA Online, it's actually been in the game files since the PS3 and 360 days, but was never ever used until the gun running update for GTA Online in 2017, I believe. Now, this file is called Prop Alien Egg 01 and can be modded into the game using a trainer. In fact, on GTA Online on 360 and PS3, some modders, or hackers, whatever you want to call them, spawn eggs onto people's heads just to troll them. Now, because of this, it makes me believe that the egg was either going to be hidden somewhere on the map as like a possible reward or something like that, and you'd have to take it up the mountain somehow. But if we spawn it in via a trainer, you can't pick it up. Now, I'm sure everybody and their nan has already said this, but I believe the jetpack on the mural here was proof that Rockstar were planning on adding a jetpack at some point. Not for GTA Online, but for single player. But due to unknown reasons it could be shark cards, but realistically speaking, as much as everybody loves to rag on the shark cards, I think it's more to do with 360 and PS3 limits. But anyway, this could also be related to the scrapped single player DLC, which as we know, was never added and possibly moved into GTA Online instead to stop it going to waste. So now let's actually cover that hot topic, single player DLC. Now, Rockstar themselves confirmed that something was coming, as in late 2013, Rockstar themselves said in a Newswire post that in 2014, we would have DLC that expanded upon Michael, Trevor and Franklin's adventures. But now it's 2020 and we've still got nothing related to single player. But that doesn't mean we never got hints. So let's quickly go over the UFOs that appear in the game. Now, I'm of the belief that this was a hint to single player DLC, because realistically speaking, the 100% reward for the game is really strange. Like, if you've played any Rockstar game, you know they usually reward you when you hit 100%. Vice City gives you 200% health and infinite ammo. San Andreas gave you a tank and a Hydra and Grove Street plus infinite ammo. But GTA 5, with the exclusion of an achievement, just put 3 weird UFOs that spawn into very specific scenarios around the map. Now, if we compare that with, say, Red Dead Redemption 2's 100% ending, we got an alternate cutscene which had John Marston at Arthur Morgan's grave, saying, "We're just about done, my friend," which confirms that story is over. Plus, assuming you picked Ending C in GTA 5, Don Percival, the CEO of Merryweather, a character who was never ever seen at all, texts Michael DeSanta with a rather menacing message, saying Michael caused him a lot of trouble, he's glad that Michael killed Devin, but then ends the message with "Do not fuck with me again, no reply necessary." Which to me was a bit ominous, you know, like how this character got Michael's phone number and we never even see him during the story. Now, once again, it might be a stretch, but it kind of sets him up as a potential larger role in an upcoming DLC. Which, if we actually go over the supposed leaks and rumours about the single player DLC, involve Trevor Phillips and the IAA. Now, in the base GTA 5 story, Trevor has a rivalry with Merryweather, so I really wouldn't be surprised if the DLC story, that's assuming it's true, involved an IAA Merryweather conflict. And seeing as Merryweather harbour a supposed super weapon could involve another host on them. Now, secondly, the other supposed single player DLC was going to involve either aliens or zombies. Now, I'm not sure if that would have been something akin to Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, where it would have taken place in an alternate timeline, or if it would have been canonical and possibly related to something that happened during the IAA DLC. Or for all we know, that nerve toxin that they sold in Monkey Business was going to be the cause of the outbreak in some alternate timeline, where the host went horribly wrong maybe? We may never know on that. So how the hell does that relate to the Mt Chiliad Mystery when all you've been doing is just theorising about what single player DLC could have been? Well, my personal thought on this is that the entire mystery was tied to the DLCs rather than the base game. The UFOs, as we know, appear at 100% in base GTA 5. Maybe 100%ing the zombie DLCs would have given you the alien egg, and beating the Trevor and the IAA DLC would have given you a jetpack. Hang on a minute, so what would alien eggs have to do with zombies? Well, if you played Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, you might remember that game had other supernatural elements, such as unicorns, Bigfoot, and that woman, I can't pronounce her name properly, who was heavily hinted at being some kind of godlike figure. So it's probable that the zombie DLC wasn't going to be solely zombies. For all we know, they could have pulled a Simpsons Hit and Run Chapter 7 on us all. Now, once again, this is just my theory, but once you get all 3 rewards, the real reward is revealed to you and this door will finally open. Now, we've seen this in some games like Battlefield, where, let's take Battlefield 1 as an example, where to unlock the Peacekeeper gun, you need to have completed all the previous Easter eggs and have a specific gun skin and dog tags equipped, then go to this very specific place on a very specific map. And honestly, I feel like Rockstar might be going this route, as in GTA Online, to get the alien supply mission, you need to have done at least 600 supply runs, and then start one off when it's raining at night time for a very small chance of it happening at Fort Sanduco. The next step after that is to apparently get drunk off Macbeth whiskey at night time when it's thundery or raining, and then there's a very small chance your character blacks out, gets abducted, stripped down to their underwear, left on top of Mt Chiliad and have a tattoo equipped on them, which is seen on the mural. I wouldn't be surprised if the next step involved you having to keep said tattoo equipped, because unlike every other reward in GTA Online, removing this tattoo, you cannot get it back unless you get this event again, which is a very small chance of happening. But as the mystery has been moved to GTA Online, I really wouldn't be surprised if the mystery gets revealed in some one-off update and it turns out to be a crappy t-shirt or something. Now, I'd also like to take a moment to talk about the T01 missile silo and ChiliadMystery.com. Now, very shortly after the release of GTA 5 back in 2013, an ominous website called ChiliadMystery.com surfaced. And when accessed, the entire website was nothing more than a still image of the T01 bunker and nothing else. Digging through the page's source code simply says, "It's here." Now, what I find incredibly odd about this is that it turned out this website was somewhat right, because in the Doomsday heist for GTA Online, the finale takes place inside this very bunker. Now, on the opposite hand, this website surfaced after GTA 5 released, and if we take this image and put it into a new tab, we can see the image is quite low quality. And this implies that it was taken from GTA Snapmap feature on the PS3 and 360, where, speaking realistically, this was a time before we could just, save our screenshots from the press of a button. This was the only way we can get our crystal clear GTA screenshots if we didn't have a capture card. Now, sadly, this service has actually since been shut down. I believe it shut down in late 2019, but we actually do have quite a load of images we can compare this to. for example on the GTA wiki. So if we compare the size of this Trevor picture to the one on the ChiliadMystery.com website, we can see they are the exact same size, just the Chiliad Mystery one is 6 pixels smaller. So was this site a lucky guess? A troll that turned out to be right? Or was this an employee leaving us hints? We may never know, but have to admit, I do find it very weird how this site predicted there was something here after all. But that's my personal investigation into the Mt Chiliad Mystery. I said at the beginning, I'll say it again, this is all my own opinion with mostly my own research. So I might be right, I might be wrong. Either way, this is where my investigation ends, so thank you for watching and have a great day.